What's good, guys? Bless you for tuning in. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys or telling you guys the meaning of equilibrium and how to spot them on the chart. So we are just going to start by the definition. So equilibrium is just basically like an imbalance where price have to retest to for continuation of movement. Is just like a fair value gap and imbalance. So I'm going to be showing you guys a drawing to explain it. So if we are in an uptrend, something like this, now a discount of equilibrium, we draw it from the low to a high. So this is how it is. So price have to retest into discount. This part below, can I draw this sheet? Yep. This part is discount. This part below, this part above is premium. So price have to come into discount of equilibrium, then price continue. Is the same thing with sales. So let's check for sales. Okay, let's draw for sales something like this. So same thing goes to sell. We draw from the high to the low. So price have to come to discount of equilibrium. So the same goes to sell. Here is premium, here is discount. So if you want to know my settings on my equilibrium, let me pull it up for you guys. Let me pull this shit up for you guys. So this is everything I did. Just follow me, because if you initially use that GAN box, you will see a lot of lines. So just do as I did my own. Very simple, nothing else. Then goes to here, still the same thing. So now that you guys know the meaning, and I showed you guys an example, so let's spot it now on the chart. It does not happen every time. It doesn't happen every time. So it's just like if there is no fair value gap, you make use of equilibrium. That is just it. And it happens on all time frames, monthly, daily, for 1 hour, on all time frames. Now this is an example, and but it also happens after, like, we draw it after a break of structure. Now look at this, we have a break of structure here. If we draw from the low, this is the low, this red candle, this is the low, you can see it, and this is the high, the low and the high. So price came into discount of equilibrium, and the movement continued, We don't just use only equilibrium, we use other confluences too. If you look at this too, we got our break of structure, we came into this kind of equilibrium. You can draw from here to here, and price, you can see that we tapped that middle line, which is discount, and we ripped up. Now let's look for sales. if we can see sell, let's go down to lower time frame, 30 minutes, because I mainly use it for entries. Look at this. Let's look at this. We had a break of structure. We came into discount of equilibrium, and price tapped it and ripped up. You can still lose with this. I'm just looking for a sells. I told you guys that it happens after a break of structure. This is another buy. Break of structure. Look at this. Came to discount of equilibrium and we ripped up. I believe why there is no sell, because if you look at this chart, we have just been ripping up. Like, look at all this shit. Like, look at what we have just been doing. Look at what we have just been doing. But I'm going to get a sell. Obviously going to get that. So let's look for a sell. You can still call this a discount of equilibrium. We had break of structure here. Was that a break of structure? Nope. That is not a break of structure. Okay, I think this is wonderful. We had break of structure here. We came into discount of equilibrium. If you draw from here to here, you can see that we tapped discount of equilibrium here and we ripped down. Look at, we ripped down. Now let's look for another sell. We have just been buying, and that's why I think that there is no sell. Look at the break of structure from here to here. Let's see if that is discount of equilibrium. Yep. You can see that price came into discount of equilibrium and we ripped up. Look how we ripped up. I would really like to get more of sales, man. Okay, now this is another, this is a sell. We have a break of structure to the downside. If you draw, this is the high. You can see that we came to discount of equilibrium and we dumped down. Let us look for another sell. I think this will, okay, we had break of structure here. We came into discount of equilibrium and we ripped down. As simple as that. Is there anyone again? I think I've done a lot on buy equilibrium. Look at this again, a wonderful sell. We had this break of structure here. If you draw it from your high to here, we came into discount and we dumped down. And also, this is very, like, what I want to tell you guys is very important. If, like, as this is now, if price ends up coming up sweeping the high, then it's cancelled. If price ends up coming up or going down, sweeping the discount high or low is cancelled. This one is legit. Let me look for one that is invalid now. HTB. Really? It should be really hard to find. This one is almost cancelled. This one was almost cancelled. This buy, we are so close. You can see we are so close to sweeping the low. It's still valid. So if it is swept, then it's cancelled. Just looking for an example of where it was cancelled. Okay. Nope. This is crazy. I don't think we can't find, but I'm not giving up. We must find where it is cancelled, and so that my explanation will be active. If you look at this is an example. We had break of structure here. You can call this discount of equilibrium, but you can see that this red candle came down, swept this low, so it's cancelled. So if it sweeps the low or the high, it's cancelled. Still looking for another example from let's go to our time frame. Let's go to lower time frame, 5-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame is, I think you are going to see a lot of cancellation of the shares. Okay, look at this. We had a break of structure here. We draw an equilibrium from here to here. You can notice that this candle swept this low, so it is cancelled. You guys know what I mean. Very simple. And I'm going to repeat myself again. We don't just look for equilibrium. All these are confluences that we join together into a strategy, and we use it to look for entries, use it to look for trades. So with all being said, if this video was helpful, which I believe it was, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bar. We'll be dropping more videos. So with that being said, peace.